Good morning, everyone. It's Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up. It's Tuesday morning, a little bit after 10, October 1st, 2024. Good morning, Carol. I cannot believe it is October already. This is crazy how much time is flying by. But I apologize for being a little late. Google decided it wasn't going to let me on this morning, so I had to fight with that. But here we are. And October 1st brings so many cool things for the Stampin' Up! World. For instance, our kits are up to 30% off. So if you've had your eye on one of our kits, now is the time to grab that with a 30%, up to a 30% discount. And you can shop those in the online store just by searching under kits, and they'll all come up for you. So make sure you grab your favorites early, because I have no idea what may or may not sell out during this promotion, but that's a pretty good deal to get 30% off on a kit. What's an even better deal is we have a start kit special starting today. And this, of course, is the kit where you get to pick typically $125 in free product for just $99 plus tax. Stampin' Up! Even picks up the shipping. And but for the month of October, you're going to get to pick $155 in product. And yes, you can include the die cutting machine. I often get asked that question. As a matter of fact, our die cutting machine, our large one, is $130. So that would still leave you with $25 additional product to purchase or to get something else in your starter kit. The best part, not just getting all that extra product in October, is that you would be considered a demonstrator. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out and sell or do parties or do lives or do anything like that. It just means that you would get to enjoy up to at least a 20% discount on any purchases that you would make from the time you get your starter kit and you get your login information for the Stampin' Up! Website through the end of January. So you have that long that you would enjoy a 20% discount minimally. If you happened in that period of time to purchase $300 in product, then you would be extended and you would be eligible for that 20% discount up through April. So keep that in mind, because the 20% discount is pretty nice. It basically takes care of the shipping and tax for the most part, which I know we all don't like paying that shipping. I don't like paying that shipping, but we do sell heavy products too, so I get it. But think about that. Again, you don't have to go out and promote or do anything. You can just enjoy getting the discount. That's truthfully how I started. I wanted the discount for 3 months. Here I am, 21 years later. You just never know. You just never know where things will take you, where opportunities may present themselves. Okay. New host code for the month. I do not have the Just Cards class here. I designed some of it in the Nest in Gettysburg, and then I designed some of it here, and so I don't have them all together. I swear I just zoomed out, and I don't know why I didn't touch a thing. But anyway, but the winner of these cards that we made together last week, which was our fun Halloween class, is Sharon Rowland. So congratulations, Sharon. Thanks so much for watching and commenting. Hey, Deborah, good morning. And I will be popping. I have a lot of mailings to do. I'm way behind on my mailings. So that's first on my list after we are off the live and I have everything put away. But thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you. And I'll get those out to you so you have them in time to share for Halloween. All right. So today I thought I would share with you the class that I provided to my retreat attendees in September. I'm a fall girl. I don't know about you guys. I love fall. And so these are, sorry, my voice is rough. I didn't talk to anybody this morning yet. These are fall themed cards that we're going to be doing. 2 of them are going to use the Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper, which I absolutely love. And I know a lot of you do too, right? So this is the first one. I call this a faux buckle card because doesn't this look like a belt buckle coming across there? Hey, Debbie. Is it a beautiful day in Vermont? I wish I could say the same thing in Pennsylvania, but I am not complaining considering our friends in the South. It's just that we haven't seen sunshine and I've lost count. And it's raining again today. So, but again, nothing compared to what our friends in the South have. And my heart goes out to all of them. But anyway, and it's also a little bit of a fun fold, right? So we're going to make this one first. If I can pick up the packet of paper. So Debbie's got beautiful weather. How about the rest of you? How's your weather going these days? So this is copper clay, 4¼ by 11, scored at 5½. And I just took, I think, an inch off the front. And you could adjust that to whatever you want. That trim off the front can be whatever size you want. And we are going to go ahead and stamp our inside greeting a while because I'm going to mount that first. That is Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful. We're going to do that in copper clay. Let's bring the right paper in to stamp on. And that greeting, of course, comes from the Hooray, sorry, Hooray for Surprises. This is a fun one. This is the one that has the interactive pull tab that you can pull and reveal a hidden message. Of course, it has the bundle with the dies, but does have a lot of great greetings in there. Mostly for birthdays, but you could substitute some other things as well. All right, we're going to bring our card base back in. Those cats were selling my stuff again because I'm seeing some missing product here. And then we're going to add a strip of the pumpkin pie and a strip of the oxidized copper specialty paper. All right. This paper is so pretty for fall projects. Oops, not indented. There we go. And then this is going to get lined up right with the edge of the card. Okay. Now we'll work on the front. And I did use the nested essential dies to go ahead and cut our labels. That is a must-have die set in my inventory. I reach for that one quite often. Go ahead and do our stamping first, and then we can just put everything together. Is that straight? Yes, believe it or not, it is. Well, that's a good morning already, right? We'll go ahead and mount this. Now we're going to mount this to the right side, line up those edges as well, just like we did on the card base, so that we have some room to put our gems. And I don't know if you can see those on there, but that is the 2003, no, 2002, 2003, 2005 in color sparkle dots. So that's our boho blue and our copper clay, wild wheat, etc. colors. We're going to bring in a piece of that pretty. I love that the back is a more of a neutral, no pattern type. And then we have the beautiful fall patterns on the front. It's beautiful in New York. Awesome. Awesome. My in-laws live in New York, so that's great news. They live in the Corning area. This is going to go on our front flap, obviously. Line up with the side. And then this, when we mount this, we're only putting adhesive on the left side because we don't want to seal the card closed, right? Okay, and then we're just going to add a bird. This is the adhesive back dragonflies and birds in the sky. We'll pick this guy. They're a great little accent to add up in the sky, especially on some of these more scenic papers. And we're going to bring in some of those wild wheat dots. So how many of you have the Splendid Autumn paper? Apparently, you wouldn't think wild wheat would be the thing that would be missing off of here, but that's my lowest. You know, when wild wheat first came out, we were all kind of like, yeah, I don't know about that. But I'll tell you what, it definitely has purpose and place in my crafting world. And there we go. Quick and easy. Carol has it. I know it was on back order, but when I looked 2 days ago, it was back in. So hopefully it still is. All right, so there is our first project. Again, these were my retreat projects. I do a card kit as one of their pillow gifts for each retreat. All right. Sorry, guys. My voice is a mess. We're going to do this card, and I don't know if anybody else has ever done this, but I kind of created my own technique on this one. I absolutely love the Changing Leaves bundle. Debbie has it. Yeah, good. Changing Leaves, love the stamps. You're amazing in every single way. I couldn't have done it without you. Here for you, a little note to brighten your day. Thank you. And then, of course, the leaf stamp images. We have the hybrid embossing folder, which is fabulous. And I'll show you, if you've not used the hybrid embossing folders before, I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we have these fun label dies, as well as some standalone leaf images. And then, of course, the big image, which is what we're going to use today to cut and die cut, or cut and emboss with. All right. And my thank you, actually, I could have used the thank you from Changing Leaves. Why I didn't is beyond me, but I grabbed the one from Loveliest's Tree. And this is a great fall set as well. I love doing thumping techniques in the fall with the Stampin' Right markers. That tree is perfect for that. So, gotta have it, right? Okay, so again, we're bringing in that oxidized copper. This is the pretty peacock pattern. I did another cut the front fold off, right? So we've got that. We're going to do some layering on there. All right. And we are going to bring in a piece of pretty peacock. We're going to bring in a smaller piece of Very Vanilla for this project. I go to Very Vanilla in the fall. Anybody else? Hello, Melinda. Good to see you. Anybody else find that they use Very Vanilla more in the fall than any other time of the year, or is that just me? So we're going to emboss that with the Cane 3D embossing folder. My die cut machine is all folded up. I had a one-on-one yesterday with a new stamper, which was so much fun. I love when I get to share stamping with new folks. She's a crafter for sure. She makes the most beautiful candles. But she's really interested in getting into the stamping one. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, so here's where I went, I don't want a plain background for my leaf. I'm going to go ahead and show you the die cutting for that, the embossing and die cutting for that. Oh, look, apparently I was die cutting for him. So we're going to bring this in, lay it over the leaf that I want. You don't need to do the whole background. You absolutely could. But before we do that, I just did that to make sure it was the right size. Before we do that, we are going to put our die down so that we can, in fact, die cut with it. And usually it goes on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it, right? So the logo's over there. You find it, you line it up on the design, and it should lock into place. Mine's being contrary this morning. Maybe this is the exception. Let's see if it'll go on over here. Nope, it's got to be on this side. It's the orientation too. There we go. It's like, why won't that lock in? So it locks into place. Now, when I say locks into place, you can tell it's not going to shift. It's not like you can hold it up and turn it upside down and it's going to necessarily stay in place. But you can definitely tell it's not moving unless you really bump it like I just did. And then we're going to close the folder down, make sure I have the whole leaf. So this is considered a 3D embossing folder. Fold at the top, as always, with the platform, and then your specialty plate on top. That is how you do hybrid embossing folders. You can use the embossing folder standalone. You can use the die standalone to stamp the image. But this way, you're going to get an embossed image. So all those leaves have all the texture in them. I'm going to, and that's Lost Lagoon that we're using, right? I'm going to take some, this is not the technique yet, but I am going to take some Lost Lagoon ink, and I'm going to add some detail around the leaves. You can do as little or as much as you want. I'm just kind of catching the edges here. Just to give it a little more detail. Sponge daubers are a great tool to have in your arsenal to do something like this. Our brushes, even our smaller brushes, are a little too big to be able to get into in between the leaves. On this image. I think that's where I started, isn't it? So hopefully you can tell the difference on that from when we started. We're going to go ahead and close up the Lost Lagoon so Lori doesn't lay her hand in it. And now we're going to come back to our cane embossing folder, or cane embossed product. So I knew that I didn't want the plain vanilla, right? Nothing wrong with that. Makes the leaf really pop, but I didn't love it. And I didn't know how I was going to get Versamark on there without dragging my pad, and then I'd probably end up with too much. So I took a Versamark pad and I took a Q-tip. And I inked up, if you will, my Q-tip. And I just kind of scattered Versamark. You can't see it, so you kind of have to do it and then maybe go back and do it again if it's not giving you as much as you want. But I wanted like a distressed, vintage, antique look to this. And if the tip starts to wear out, you just flip it over. Let's see what we get, because we can heat gloss and then come back and add more if we need to. And I didn't, which I should have, did not take the embossing buddy over it. I should have, because with it being embossed like this, it's probably going to stick places I don't want it to stick. Ooh, no, actually. I think I like it. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. I'm going to set that aside so I don't hit it accidentally with the heat tool. So this is the copper embossing powder that I'm using. And this is also the new Wow embossing powders, which I haven't played with yet. So this is the first. I still have a lot of the other Stampin' Up! Embossing powders, and I will continue to use those until they're gone, because why not, right? But I wanted to see how this was going to look. And I don't care that it's smudgy or, you know, it's not a clean line, that I wasn't going for that look. And always be sure when you're, that's really pretty. That's really coppery, guys. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. A much more, I know this is going to sound silly, a much more copper effect than the old copper embossing powder. Now I do want to make sure it is all heat set, because we don't want powder coming off the project, right? Unless you don't want to melt my thumbnail there. Okay, I think we're good. Let's see. So this was the older copper powder, and this is the new copper powder. And look, can you see the difference? This has much more metallic effect to it. Hopefully it's showing up a little bit on camera for you, but that's what it will look like. And I kind of love that. I'm going to put this back in, because if not, I guarantee you it's going to end up all over the floor. Or me. Like, what did I do with the lid? Yeah, so, you know, if you don't have, like, a sponge dauber would have been too big, dragging the ink pad would have given me more ink, more Versamark than I wanted. So I'm like, what can I use? And there used to be, and I do have them, but I don't use them because we don't offer them anymore. There used to be a Versamark pen, which was great when you had a boo-boo, like if you were embossing words, you could go back in and fix it. Not sure why we stopped carrying that. And I'm assuming you can still buy it places. But since I can't offer it, I don't use it. So Q-tip came to mind. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and finish our card. And I think, yeah, I put the leaf on with dimensionals. So let's do that. Make sure I have the right side up. All right. Pop that on here. Then again, just the left side for adhesive, so we don't end up sealing our card closed. Anybody ever done that? I've done that. And boy, do I get upset when I do that. And I'm going to flip it over because I don't want to bother that. You like the newer one? Yeah, I do too. I do too. Okay. So now we just have our stamping. So we did this one in reverse. We did the stamping first on the other one. Oh, I need to emboss this. Darn it. I could stamp it in Lost Lagoon, but I don't think I would like it as much. So let's do a quick embossing for this too. This time I will remember the embossing buddy. And grab a Versamark pad again. This is a tiny little thing that I guarantee you would burn my fingers if I didn't have the tweezers out of the embossing kit. I love this kit. You get the tray, the embossing buddy, the tweezers. It's awesome. Again, we're just going to put this away. All right. One quick hit with the gun, and it's warmed up now, right? So the heat tool should be good to go. There you go. I'm like, we're not. Here we go. I think I finally figured out why the heat tool, you can't hear the noise of the heat tool when I use it, because I come in using Zoom, and I believe Zoom has a sound suppression, so background noises and stuff are suppressed. So it'll be interesting when I get off of Zoom and go live just directly to YouTube if I have sound issues. All right. We're going to line that up, cover the stem of our leaf, and line it up with the edge. And then we're going to do the inside. And on the inside, now where did I put the stamp set? There. I just did a leaf in the Lost Lagoon. I tend to leave my thank you cards blank so that I can write a personalized message. If you don't want to have all that space to write in, then by all means put a little greeting in there as well. There we go. Make a little space here and pop that on the inside of the card. And there is project number 2. Love that card. Love the way that turned out. And I definitely like that copper, more coppery effect. It's shinier, just like the paper, right? This was a little duller. So there we go. That's a comparison of the new and the old. Thank you, Melinda. The new and the old copper embossing powders. All right. And then the last one is a little bit of a fun fall. I love Warms My Heart stamp set. And I love that it's going to give us, we've got apples, we've got the wreath, the pumpkins, and then I think that's supposed to be a wreath. Originally, I thought it was a donut. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But it's a snow globe. It just hit me. It's a snow globe with a snowman in it. So we've got fall and Christmas going on this stamp set. Deck the halls with wreaths and holly. Memories of you warm my heart. I would pick you over and over again, and hey pumpkin. And of course we're going to use the little girl carrying the pumpkins and some more of that Splendid Autumn paper, right? So Cajun Craze is our base for this one. These are all fabulous fall colors. I reach for them over and over again. And I'm going to go ahead and run my ribbon around, and you're going to watch me struggle to tie that knot. At least it's not a bow. I don't tie onto cards very often. I tie before I get it to the card, but let's see what I can do here. And I also don't cut my ribbons off, because guaranteed, if I cut that ribbon, even if I try to measure it out, oh, that went much easier than I expected. I'm either going to be too short or too long. And if I'm too long, then I'm going to waste ribbon. And if I'm too short, then I got a piece of ribbon I got to hold on to till I find a purpose for it, right? So I choose to leave it on my card or on my roll and use it as I need it. And I'm this again, wild wheat. Who thought I'd be using so much wild wheat when it came out? And I just saw that this is on back order, and I really like this ribbon, so I'm kind of bummed about that. All right, so we've got our card base started. We're going to grab some basic white. Now, this time I did choose to use basic white. And I've got some layers here with the pretty patterned paper. So we're just going to mount these. Two layers of basic white. And then we're going to add them to our card front. When I do the kits for my retreat, I try to keep them, whoops, let's not do it upside down. What do you think? I try to keep them quicker than some cards that I might do, so that they have time to get back to, if they want to make them at retreat, they still have time to work on the projects that they brought with them. I'm going to line the bottom edge up. And there we go. So I wanted this path particularly to put the girl on as she's carrying the pumpkins, because I wanted her to stand, whoa, throwing markers in the air. And I just picked up an edge. Let's see if I can avoid it. Now, the saddest part about this is there are no dies. So if you don't like to fussy cut, you're going to want to find a different image to put on the front of your card if you decide to make this one. Every time I have to fussy cut, I go, Mom, I really miss you. And then I used a whole bunch of Stampin' Blends to bring lots of color, because she needed to pop off of there with all the beautiful color in the background. So we've got light and dark pecan pie for her boots, light and dark boho blue for her overalls, light and dark daffodil delight for her hair, light and dark old olive, and light and dark pumpkin pie for the pumpkin stack. I don't know what this is in the catalog, and I really need to label these. This is SU 800. So it's one of the light tones, the neutral tones for skin, and then just light fresh freesia for her sweater. I am not going to color that for you because I already did it, because I know what it's like to watch somebody sit and color. So not only did I color it, I also fussy cut it. And I am going to put it up on dimensionals so she stands out a little bit. But look how cute. She's walking the path with her pumpkins. And notice I had to restamp her. But you know what? That's okay, because no one's ever going to see the back of this card. And I'm going to cut one of these in half, since I don't have minis close by, to put down here. That's what we did before they introduced the mini dimensionals, right? We cut them in half. We used the sides. There is no, hey, Donna. Good to see you. So put her little boot on the path, and then she's coming across with her pumpkins. All right, so then the label, again, I didn't want something big. I wanted something long. There might have been a die, but yes, me too, Melinda. Me too. So I punched the oval punch, right? And then I cut it. So I lined it up at 3/8. So I made sure it was straight, lined it up at 3/8. And I don't want it to move, which I knew it was going to. Lined it up at 3/8 and cut. And flipped it around and did the same thing. So this is my base. This is my mat, if you will. And some of you are probably going, this woman is nuts. Why would you do that? But I really liked that I had that rounded ends. And then I'm just going to punch another piece, this time with the basic white. And do the exact same thing, except this time I'm going to go to a 1/2 inch so that I have a slightly smaller label. And the 1/2 inch is a little bit easier to line up. Sure it is. Line up because you have the whole line going up and down the cutter to align with. But it's really not hard to line it up and have it be straight. I was actually pleasantly surprised. So there we go. That's weird. I have an extra one there. I didn't even know that. Okay, so now we're just going to stamp the greeting on this, which is "Hey Pumpkin." Except that I need to grab my pumpkin pie stamp pad. We're still dealing with the yellow jackets in my studio, not to the degree that we were last night. Last night, like at 10:30, I almost packed and left because one got in my hair again. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I am leaving. I don't know if I'm going to leave tonight or tomorrow. My husband is actually sick. My original plan was to leave right after my live today and go back down to the craft nest, but I'm not prepared to do that, and I'm going to check on him after work. So and there we go. So we have a nice little border, and it's a cute little label. We'll pop that up. That could almost be considered, the way I cut the paper could almost be considered a faux bookbinding card, right? These are the faux glass dots. These are really pretty as well, and lots of fall colors. And we could choose to use the Cajun Craze, or we could use the pumpkin pie. My pumpkin pie are everywhere. So we're going to do that, but I'm going to pick them up out of here. I'm not really sure why they went crazy. And then we'll just do the inside. Now here again, I went back to the basic white, as you can see. And I'm going to say, I would pick you over and over again. This is a great friendship card for the fall. Especially if you have girlfriends that go to a pumpkin patch to get your pumpkins in the fall. How fun would it be to give them each one of these cards on that trip? Yeah, you'd be out the door. I'm not happy. Somebody posted, I think over on my Facebook page when I put it up a week ago, that they had them for about a week in their master bathroom and then they vanished. So I'm coming up. If this isn't a week, It is a week. Today's a week. And there's less for sure. But I don't care. I don't want any. I don't want any living with me. If they want to be outside, I'm okay with that. All right, so there we go. There is our cute little pumpkin card. There's our copper leaf and our faux buckle. Thanks, Debbie. I'll let him know. Yeah, he's got surgery on Monday, so he did go yesterday, make sure he didn't have COVID or anything. He gets sick every September. When the kids come back to school, he gets sick. So I'm not surprised he's sick. I'm sad, and I'm hoping it doesn't mess up his surgery on Monday. I'm also sad because this weekend is our anniversary. So I don't think we're going to have a lot of fun. We were supposed to go away. That's kind of up in the air now. But anyway, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed those. I really love the way these cards came out. Again, I'm a fall fanatic, so for me, it's always fun designing the fall projects. I'm sure you'll see a few more before the season is over. And if you like them, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. Remember, when you do those things, you get entered into the drawing to win these cards next week. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you are watching, I appreciate you tuning in this morning. Thanks so much. I'm live every Tuesday at 10, usually, unless there's bees involved, here on my YouTube channel, and Sunday nights at 8, just over on Facebook. Just check, because with this being the weekend we were supposed to go away, I may or may not be home to do my live Sunday night. And Tuesday will be the day after his surgery, so we'll have to see where we're at for this coming week. But my plan is to be live both of those days. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Be safe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.